Psalm 33:4. For the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does. For 150 years, First Baptist Church of Leesburg has been a recipient of God's faithfulness and has joyfully walked in that faithfulness. But even before the church officially began, God's plan began to unfold when the first settlers arrived in Leesburg in 1843, Baptists from South Carolina. In 1851, the early families built a shelter of logs with palmetto thatch and split logs for benches to worship God. Then in 1859, a six-sided log cabin was built to serve as a church, school, and community building. In 1872, First Baptist Leesburg was constituted by the Southern Baptist Convention. In 1884, the first railroad came to Leesburg. And in 1886, the first telephone line came to Leesburg. But by this time, First Baptist Leesburg had already been proclaiming Christ in the area for several years. In 1883, the members constructed a frame church on the southwest corner of West Main and 12th Street. Then, in 1925, the West Main property was traded for our current site. The new church building was that which we now call Building B. In 1943, in the middle of a world war, the faithful of First Baptist paid off the mortgage. 1962 was a momentous year when the first service was held in our current downtown worship center on Easter Sunday. 1982 saw the launch of the Christian Care Center and the wide array of ministries to our community. 1988 saw the birth of First Academy, with one kindergarten and one first grade. The Community Medical Care Center began in 1996 to address the medical needs of our community. In 2008, the church acquired the Big Bass Motel and renamed it the Samaritan Inn. In 2022, a motion picture about the church was released nationwide into theaters. But what is the story of First Baptist Leesburg? It is the story of the first pastor, Reverend William Hughes, who served from 1876 to 1886, and who was then followed by a succession of 27 pastors, all who loved and served this church. In 1976, Pastor Charles Roselle arrived with the church running 300 in attendance, but then led the church in 3 decades of spectacular growth. Pastor Cliff Lee arrived in 2007, worshiped during the time of COVID, as well as the expansion of the church into 3 locations. Behind each of these great leaders, called and gifted by God, have been faithful people over the decades who have supported the church, taught the next generation, faithfully serving others, modeling Christ for our community, and taking the name of Christ to the nations. Today is a testimony to what they and countless others have done these past 150 years. Today, we praise God and celebrate His faithfulness and extreme goodness to this church. Seeing what God has done these past 150 years, let it give us confidence and courage to follow God's plans for the future of First Baptist Leesburg. May all who come behind us find us faithful as well. Happy 150 years, First Baptist Leesburg. God is faithful.